Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Autonomate's series of webinars. This webinar being especially around tying modern and legacy workflows with identity verification. We're going to talk about Autonomate's KYC solution for VKYC, and we're also going to talk about how it can be set up as part of a multi-actor, multi-process workflow, which will set you up all the way for your banking institution or financial institution as well. But before we get started with the solution, we have our CEO here, Bala, who would be taking us through a brief overview of what the platform enables for major banks in India. So without much ado, Bala, please take it away.
Thank you, Ranga, and good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm going to, as Ranga mentioned, I'll spend a few minutes giving a broader view about Automate and who we are before handing over to my colleague Ankita to focus on what today's focus is, which is on KYC. We are basically a Gen AI-enabled customer journey workflow automation platform. The platform brings together channels, BPMN, which are workflows, and intelligence on a single platform with a low-code front end, which you can drag and drop and create workflows. The platform is Gen AI enabled at every level. We are world's first Gen AI enabled workflow automation platform, and it's, when I say it's enabled, integrated at every level. On one side, as chat as a channel, where you can use the Gen AI capabilities now, which all of us are familiar about. But more importantly, it's also integrated into the platform, which actually makes it very easy to create workflows and deploy solutions. So that's why I called it an AI co-pilot to workflow automation. So, if you're trying to create a workflow, the system allows you to explain it in simple English, and the system will create those workflows for you. If there are areas where you write code, you can use the Gen AI capability of the platform to specify what you're trying to do, and the system will generate those codes for you. So it's really a co-pilot as you're trying to automate, identify, and automate workflows. Our core value proposition, though, is speed and efficiency. The reason I'm talking about that is what the platform allows you to do is go live or create workflows very rapidly. What typically takes months, even when you are deploying, let's say, a loan origination solution or any of that, can be deployed, can be created, configured on the platform within weeks, days and weeks. And more importantly, we all live in a dynamic world when you have a vendor deploying something, that's only a beginning of a process, because you have changes coming up, your business requirements change, new capabilities become available. And what the platform offers you is the flexibility to make those changes in minutes and hours, unlike days and months that it takes in most other platforms. Can you go to the next slide, Ankita? While the platform is horizontal, in the sense it's a workflow automation platform, all our focus and most of our customers are in the BFSI industry, in the banking, finance, insurance industry. And our focus has been to make this the most comprehensive low-code automation platform for the Indian BFSI industry. Now, I earlier mentioned that the platform brings together channels, BPMN, and intelligence. It also is the glue that holds together the entire BFSI workflow ecosystem. And let me explain that a little. If you think about any customer-facing workflow, and many often even the back office workflows in BFSI, you have workflows, but you also have multiple integrations. You have multiple integrations, the set of tools like OCR and image parsing and KYC, things like face matching and things like that, Aadhaar masking and things like that. You also have a set of integrations with government databases like NSDL, UIDAI, NPCI. You have the credit agencies databases, and you have a whole lot of fintech in the ecosystem now, right? And typically you also have your backend, which is your core banking or a loan management solution or something. So today the platform not just offers you opportunity to rapidly roll out workflows, but it also gives you the connectors and all these tools that are required to create a full-fledged end-to-end workflow. So if you are creating a workflow and you need to upload let's say an Aadhaar document and read the document, you can just drag and drop that OCR capability and image parsing capability, and the system does it on its own. Similarly, to create, let's say you need to send OTP, you need to verify an email. All these capabilities are now available on the platform. More importantly, the commercials is SaaS driven, which means your upfront investments are very minimal and you pay based on the actual consumption and the traffic that runs on the platform. And so we grow along with your growth. As your volumes grow, as your business grow, you end up paying more. And if the volumes are low, you pay less. Unlike typical software deployments where, irrespective of your volumes and all of that, you end up making upfront significant investment. Can we go to the next slide? So I mentioned that this is the most comprehensive low-code framework for the BFSI industry. And these are some of the workflows that run on the platform today. Onboarding a customer could be for a NBFC, could be for a bank, opening CASA accounts, several KYC risk-related workflows, and we'll see some of that later in this demo. Customer service automation, chatbots, collection workflows, loan origination, underwriting, co-lending, and so on and so forth. So as I mentioned, there are several customers who have built these workflows on the platform, and all the tools required to build these workflows are already available on the platform. We also now have a whole lot of GenAI use cases in terms of processing documents, chatbots, automating collection process, looking at the contact center, a collection agent performance, and things like that. The platform is truly scalable. We handle over 1 million loan applications or other transactions each month for multiple financial institutions in the country. In the process, we handle over 50 lakh documents each month. And for the LOS, which is one of the high volume workflows running on the platform, we process over 18,000 crores of loans each month. And the platform is, as I told you, has all the integrations, and it complies with all the requirements of this RBI in terms of compliance, security, and things like that. Moving to the next slide, these are a list of some of our customers today. I picked up a few that gives you the broad set of solutions running on the platform, and the customers include from a tier 1 bank like IndusInd to smaller banks to large NBFCs like HDB to smaller NBFC to microfinance. Almost the entire breadth of customers are on the platform. Some of them on agri loans, cattle loans, you name it. All of them are running various workflows on the platform. So the platform is proven, it's industry grade, it's scalable, it meets RBI requirements. And as I mentioned, it brings with all the tools that's required to rapidly roll out workflows. And more importantly, the flexibility to make changes as you move forward and your business needs change. I will now hand it over to Ankita, my colleague, who will, the focus on today's webinar was on KYC, and she'll take over from here and, handle the rest of the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Bala. Thank you, Bala. And before Ankita, you get started, just a quick cue to the audience. If you have any queries during the session, feel free to line it up in the Q&A section, and I will orchestrate getting them answered by Bala, Ankita, or Varun by the end of the session. Yeah, thank you. Over to you, Ankita. Ankita, you're on mute.
Yeah. Thank you, Ranga. Thank you, Bala. Good afternoon, everyone. I am thrilled to have you all here. Before we get into details about our solutions and our offerings, I would like to begin with, the challenges that the traditional KYCs had previously. So if we look at the challenges, it was, cumbersome paperwork was involved. There was a lot of documentations that had to be submitted, longer time period for completing a single KYC verification process. And all of this put a lot of stress on the customer as well as the business side. The regulatory compliance kept changing, due to which there was, a bit of overhead on the business side. If we look at the financial aspect, the cost involved in manpower, in setting up infrastructures required for the verification process, it was all, on the higher side. Today we are here to explore how technology can help us overcome these challenges that we faced previously in a traditional process. Our platform offers multiple ways of verifying KYC. It could be a self KYC wherein the customer would just log into the respective link and perform the verification process where his identity will be verified and the documents required will be verified. Second is the assisted journey. So as the name suggests, there would be a human agent helping or assisting our customer in completing the verification process, both on the document side as well as the personal identification side of things. Lastly, we have the video KYC, which is mainly today's topic that we are covering in the webinar today, wherein agents, we are going to use technology and tools, digital tools that are available today for performing remotely, wherein the customer will not have to go through a tedious process. It would just be a 3 to 5 minutes call, wherein both the agent and the customer will get on a call and complete the verification process. So let's discuss more on what video KYC features we are offering today. So if we look at the ID verification process in today's real-time sessions where there can be a lot of frauds that happen today, we can have technologies and tools in place where we can compare the live image of the user along with the reference document ID image that we have. We can save the geotagging of the person, which means that we can save the live location of the user to verify whether he is in the right location as mentioned in the document or not. We can perform liveliness check to ensure if he is a real person and not a pre-recorded video that is being played. Right. So putting all of these technologies together, we can help in improve. Our solution would help to bring in more security. We can be more reliable and trustable for performing such regulatory compliances. Now, when we spoke about identity verification, we mainly see it as two parts. One is a face verification, where we will check the liveliness of the person. We can check if the person's face is not covered, as in the person should not be wearing a sunglass or wearing a mask or covering the face with any kind of scarf. Then we can check if the person's face is blurred or not. And if it is not blurred, we could match the live identity with the reference document identity. And lastly, we could also check if there's any particular or restriction on the background color while performing these checks. Moving on to the document side, there are different documents that are supported, which we'll see in the upcoming slides. What we do is on the verification side is we check if the document template is the right. For example, if it's a PAN document, there's a specific template for PAN. Is the template right? Second, we would see if this document is spoofed or not. We have technologies in place which will help identify such documents. The document is blurred, or is it clearly visible? If it is clearly visible, is the document fully clearly shown? Because it's a verification process, it shouldn't be a partial document that gets captured. And lastly, the document that is showcased, is it a photograph or an original document? The Indian documents today we support are Aadhaar, PAN, passport, voter ID, and driving licenses. Now, in case if there is a requirement of a different type of document to be supported, we have the capability to train our system in less than 7 days to incorporate this new document. We saw different kinds of verifications. Let's get into a little more deeper details on how each of these verifications are done. We'll go by first the ID verification. So while on a video call, if you're performing an ID verification, we will ask the customer to showcase the ID proof. For example, here we have PAN card. Now we capture the image of this PAN card. We perform an OCR to extract the data available on the PAN card. So we have the name, father's name, date of birth, and the unique ID of this document, which is the PAN card number. We use this PAN card number to verify. We send it to the respective government database, which is NSDL. We get a response from the database whether it is valid or not. The two ways to give a response is either we say it is success or it is a failure, or we could come up with a scoring factor. Moving on next to the facial recognition. How do we do a facial recognition? On a video call, the customer would be on a live video. The agent captures the image of the live person. We compare it using AI algorithms with the reference image from the ID submitted to us. We compare these two using algorithms and we arrive at a matching score. Again, here we can display the score, or we can say if the face match is success or a failure. Lastly, we have a liveliness check. Now, the best way when you are on a video call to perform a liveliness check is to have it as an interactive session where the agent asks some random questions to the customer and get a response. We can pre-configure these questions and we can have the questions selected in a random manner so that we restrict anyone using a pre-recorded video and displaying it while on a video call verification process. Now that we have seen our solution capabilities, we discussed a lot. Let's see in live how the product functions. So allow me to share the screen again. First, I will walk you all through the customer journey. We will see from a customer perspective what are the steps that the customer undergoes. So I'm sharing my screen. So while on a video call, the customer would get a link to register for a video KYC. The first step is to verify the user. For verification purpose, we are using DigiLocker interface. There are other methods to verify the user. It could be an Aadhaar XML download where the customer would upload an Aadhaar XML and we process it and continue further. For today's demo, we have chosen the DigiLocker path. The customer enters a mobile number and we authenticate using an OTP-based authentication. Here we could see the customer has the Aadhaar. We verify the user and complete the verification process. Post this, there are some basic information that we are collecting. These information could be customizable as per our customer's requirement. One of the information we are capturing here is the address. Once the address is filled and submitted and the customer proceeds further, we would have the terms and conditions accepted and the video KYC would begin. So when the customer initiates a video KYC, the agent, those who are available, would get the notification, and upon acceptance of the agent, both customer and the agent would be on a video call. Now, since we discussed that we have to verify both the person as well as the identity and the document, we have these process where the documents are collected, we have signature verification happening. But if in real time, these documents, if for example, you don't want a PAN card to be collected and you want an Aadhaar to be collected in the video KYC flow, these parts are configurable. Now I will showcase the customer journey. Sorry, I will showcase the agent journey. We already saw the customer journey.
And Ankita, while you bring it up on screen, we also have questions coming in, but I'm going to keep it for the end of your session. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So we saw that the customer end journey was pretty much easy, where the customer just had to follow the instructions given during the video KYC call. Let's see for an agent, how does it work? So while an agent receives a video call, all the basic information about the customer was pre-populated. There are some instructions that are displayed on the agent side, that the voice should be clear, both the agent and the customer's video should be clear, etc. Once the agent accepts this request, the address which was captured, if you remember, on the customer side of form is displayed to the agent, and the current location, which is the live location of the customer, is also captured and displayed. The agent can verify if these two informations are right and proceed further. Then we have a set of questions that are listed here that can ensure that the customer is a real person and it's not a pre-recorded video. And based on the responses that we receive, the agent can tick mark it or reject the responses. Suppose this, we will verify the identity, which is we are going to perform a face match. So we capture the image, we are cropping the image and submitting it. So here we could see we have a reference document image as well as a live photo. Both of these we check for liveliness as well as face match, and a score is displayed. Now, upon acceptance, the next step is to verify the document. So the PAN card is displayed. Now here again, the agent would capture the PAN card, the document, crop the image and submit it for verification. So here we extract the information. So the details of the information that we retrieved from the PAN card is displayed to the agent. We verified it with NSDL and we are getting a response as yes, it is valid. So the agent proceeds further, the video call. We capture the signature from the user and store it for audit purpose. But if in case we have come across real-time scenarios where we had requests to remove or not have such an option, that is always possible. We can customize our workflow. Suppose this, like a summary, and then before ending the video call, the agent can review whatever information was captured, all documents captured, and finally submitted. And the video verification gets completed. This is a dashboard that you see where every call record will be maintained. The customer name, the agent name, what is the status of the verification. A small dashboard will be showcased to the agents. Now, so once we complete this agent and customer video call, what we can also add on is we could have a maker-checker concept where we can introduce an auditor. An auditor can review every call information that we captured today and also have one level of approval process for that. Now, let me get back to our presentation. Yeah. So as we saw that at the end of the call, we need to have some real-time dashboard showcasing both for the operation and business team. Our dashboards are completely customizable. Any widget that you want to configure on the platform is possible. For example, if we want to come up with a widget that has the total number of call handles, out of these calls, how many were successful, how many failed. If there are, say, 100 calls that failed, what are the reasons for failure? How many calls failed because there was a spoof detected in the document, the face got mismatched, there was some fraud activity encountered. So all of these data we can generate and populate on our dashboard. Now, moving next, we discussed about what are the challenges, what do we offer from a solution standpoint. Let's discuss some of the benefits that we bring in from technology as well as the business aspect. With seamless integration and minimal downtime and reduced false alarm, we can deploy our platform swiftly and efficiently. Real-time dashboards, as we discussed previously, can be customizable for every customer, and it would provide a better overview to our business and operational team to make decisions better that would help them improve the business. Our customizable web and mobile workflows can adapt, to swiftly to the changes in any regulatory compliance that come up, which would add flexibility and also give a better user experience. Some of the business benefits that we would like to share today is we have got a very impressive feedback from our customers where they were able to save up to 91% of their overall cost. On the security aspect, with the technology introduced into their business process, they were able to identify 30% more fraudulent activity than the traditional process that was being run. With lesser human intervention, risk of errors was reduced. Speed is a hallmark for us because on paperless onboarding process verification, we have seen that we could complete the verification process from a minimum of 3 seconds to a maximum of 5 minutes, depending on the type of verification process we choose. And lastly, the customization extent that we provide from our solution, it helps us to bring in changes swiftly, meet the customer requirements very easily, at the same time provide a very good customer serving experience. Lastly, looking at the feedback, received or the targets that we were able to achieve on the customer side is that our platform was able to meet up to 99.01% of accuracy rate, which helped to enhance or increase the security and regulatory compliance. We were able to meet up to, we were able to onboard 15% of India's adult population using our platform. Our platform supported 1,500 onboarding processes per second, which gives you a better understanding of how rapid and efficient our customer enrollment process would be. We have provided a support of approximately 7 lakh hours to our customers, which would showcase our commitment to continuous customer service excellence. These achievements underscore our capability to deliver reliable, scalable solutions that meet the evolving needs of our customers as well as our partners. With this, we come to the end of the session, and if we have questions, we can take it up.
Absolutely. We do have questions, Ankita. We are also joined by Varun from the Daksho team. So any questions regarding the platform integration would also be accepted so that we would be able to answer those questions comprehensively. So I would start with the first question. Excuse me. The first one is, do you support KYC compliance regulations for North American markets?
We have today implemented our KYC solutions in India. In whatever regulations we need to comply for the North American markets, we are sure that our platform and solution is capable and would accommodate the requirements there too.
Sure. And I think maybe the document types would probably differ, but we do have support for adding custom document types if needed, right, Ankita?
Yes. So as we earlier said, any additional document that needs to be trained on our platform, we could do that in less than 7 days. So onboarding a new document type and implementing a new compliance regulation workflow wouldn't take much time for us.
Thank you, Ankita. Bala, did you have anything to add?
No, I mean, I think we spoke about that. Basically, I mean, KYC is a process of identity verification and address verification. So as long as the broad process remains same, we need to tune it to the documents that are used in a particular country to make it compliant for that country.
Awesome, thank you. The next question is, does the platform support re-KYC workflows too? I believe with re-KYC, they mean KYC for renewals, I believe.
I assume it's, every few years, 3 years or something, KYC have to be redone by consumers, and the platform supports that. It's just a subset of what you saw.
Perfect. We have a specific attendee, Shiv Shankar, who requested for a separate demo session with his team. Shiv Shankar, we have taken note of that and we'll reach out to you promptly right after the webinar. One last question that we have on the Q&A panel is, where are the recordings and documents stored, and can they be stored in any environment?
Varun, would you like to take it?
Yeah, sure. So the recordings, right, the video recordings of the entire call that is happening between the customer and the agent, so that is stored primarily in cloud, which is within India data centers. And as soon as the journey is completed, these recordings would then be sent to the organization, shared across with the organization, and then purged at our end. Depending on the conversation that we have with the organization, it would depend on how long would we store it at our end, but the process would be where once we share it back to the organization, then purge it at our end.
Awesome. Great. I don't think we have any more questions on the Q&A panel. Does the audience have any more questions that they had waited for this point and they would like to put that forth? I could also bring you up live on the session so that you could ask it yourself. Looks like it's a slow post-lunch day. People are feeling shy to come up on board. If you have any questions, but you feel that you might probably have to jump off, feel free to drop us the questions on our email that you would have received the webinar link invite from. We would also be sending the webinar recordings for people who have not been able to attend the session. So we want to make sure that everybody who's registered for the webinar is able to do that. Last but not the least, we have a series of webinars coming up, especially showcasing different capabilities of the Automate AI Studio platform. So we want to make sure that in case you would like to be informed as soon as a webinar comes along every month, I would suggest that you subscribe to our newsletter so that you are notified every time a webinar is going to go up. Any questions going once, going twice? All right, looks like we could give some minutes back to the audience. Bala, Ankita, Varun, thank you so much for your time taking us through the solution and for answering